This is the AUTOHOLIC front bumper for the 2016 and up Tacoma, and it might be one of the best front bumpers you can buy on the market.
First things first, let's see what comes in the box. Right on top, you will find the bull bar, which will come in handy adding some extra protection higher on the truck. Next, you have weather stripping, which will be used to clean up the cuts you'll make to the factory bumper. Next is a bag of installation bolts. You also have the instructions, the license plate mount, and finally the bumper itself. I really like how everything's powder coated. That's going to help a lot at preventing rust. But now it's time to begin the installation. First things first, pop the hood and remove the 2 Phillips head screws that hold the grill in. Additionally, there are 4 plastic clips that you'll need to remove as well. The 2 further into the truck are a little harder to find, but get a flashlight in there and you should have no problem. Once those are removed, you can take off the grill. Next, there is a plastic panel which has a few more clips you must take out before removing. Do the same to the other side. Once that is done, you have to remove the plastic trim on the bumper. It's held in with a few plastic clips, so a good yank should get it out. Underneath, you will find some more plastic. It's held in with some tabs. Use a screwdriver and remove this plastic. Next, remove the aluminum bumper. It is held in with 3 bolts on either side. There are also 4 more bolts under the bumper, 1 on each side and 2 in the middle. Once all the bolts are removed, the bumper should come right out.
Okay, so now what we got to do is we got to remove this bolt and this bolt for the power steering. They're going to have a plate and it's going to slide back. But as well, there's another one that's just behind there. You can kind of see that you also have to loosen up. So got to take those off, move that back just to clear up a little bit more room in here. And then you just take this plate here. You can see it. You just pull this up, it slides in there. And then you're just gonna take one of these washers here, and the nut, just slide, just tighten it right up. Same idea. Pull this side up, slide this bracket in, and just put this one on as well. Now that the plate is in place and you've put the factory bolt here, you're just gonna slide that into place, just like that, and then tighten this up. Okay, so what we have to do now is we have to cut this piece of plastic here to here, because this will interfere with the bumper. Okay, so your next step is to draw your cut line. It's super easy with some tape. Just get, 20 millimeters, which is right about there. Cut that, and then you just follow these body panels here. So right where it starts curving, you're gonna go directly to this corner, and then you're gonna follow this edge here, and then all the way to the bottom there. Same thing on the other side.
The instructions are quite conservative with your cut recommendations. There is still a lot of excess material left here. So do the exact 20 millimeters, don't do any extra, and don't do any less.
Now that the bumper has been trimmed, you're just gonna take some of this weather stripping, start at the far edge where your cut ends, go all the way across to the other side, and this is gonna clean it up a whole bunch and make it look super professional.
This weather stripping does an absolutely incredible job at making this thing nice and clean, but I do recommend you clean up any burnt or melted plastic before installing it.
Alright, so the next thing you're gonna wanna do is bolt on this bull bar. This is a super easy process. All you gotta do is just line up these holes just like this on your front bumper. Slide this bolt in, slide the next bolt in, and do that for all of them. That way it'll, for the most part, stay in place, and then you just gotta ratchet it down. I'm also gonna recommend you use blue Loctite. This will just keep these from backing out when you're off-roading and it gets a little rough. So definitely worth using.
Once you're done installing the front bull bar, it is now time to install the winch.
Okay, so what you're gonna do now is you're gonna take all 4 of your bolts here, and at least in my particular case, you're gonna go from underneath and just pop them right up here. You're gonna do that with all 4, and then you're gonna set the winch right on top.
Once you've got the first couple bolts installed, I recommend you tilt the front bumper to make it a little bit easier to tighten the bolts.
All right, so now we just have to mount the winch plate. The winch itself is already installed super clean, but you gotta first put the license plate on first, which is gonna go there, and then the winch plate is gonna go in just like that. So it should look, I'm already liking how this looks. This looks really good. All right, so the light bar is now installed and this thing looks insane. Man, does it look good.
The light bar is super easy to install as it bolts right into place.
All right, so it's starting to get dark out, but the bumper is in. All we have to do now is tighten up those bolts. There's an additional bolt that needs to go in here. That we're gonna do in a little bit. And then it's just to do all the wiring and we will be good to go. But I would say looks pretty dang good. So we just got one more big bolt in. This comes with the actual front bumper. It's a grade 8 bolt. It's really strong. But this is gonna go in through here. There's a hole in here and it connects to the other side. So that's gonna go into there and you're gonna crunch it all down and this thing will be installed.
Make sure to tighten this bolt well, but don't over tighten it too much as you don't want to bend the frame.
So it's the next day and the front bumper is now installed. I've been really impressed with this thing. The fit and finish is actually almost perfect. I would say darn near it. It's about as perfect as you can get. And it was a really easy install. I was able to do it with absolutely minimum parts. Did not take that many tools, really just like a couple wrenches and it was done deal. I was able to do it outside, did not need a shop or anything. So I'm really impressed. It looks amazing. It really makes this truck look so good. But now it's time for us to test it. So unfortunately most of the off-roading trails are closed at the moment, but I think I got an idea of how to at least give it a first little go. All right, so here's the test. I have strapped the winch up to this tree up here, and it's hard to tell in video, but we're on quite a steep hill actually. I'm just gonna leave the truck in neutral and see if it'll pull us up the hill. My guess is it's not gonna be a problem at all. Okay, so we've got it strapped up to the tree up there. The winch is ready to go. We're gonna put the truck in neutral and let's see. It's definitely pulling us up the hill, no problem. Honestly, it didn't even really sound like it's working very hard. I'd say that's pretty successful. I'm very pleased with this. This would definitely get me out of a stuck situation or potentially somebody else. So overall, I'm very impressed. This works great.
I do have to say I was sent this bumper for review, and as an Amazon associate who is part of the Amazon influencer program, I can earn from qualifying purchases. However, I do my best to keep my reviews as unbiased as possible and only review and recommend products that I deem high quality and worth the money. Overall, I am impressed with the AUTOHOLIC front bumper. The instructions were straightforward, it was easy to install, and the fit and finish with the Tacoma is excellent. I also have no doubt it will hold up to some serious abuse. It's primarily made out of 1/4-inch steel with thick welds right where you need them. For the price, this bumper has me very impressed, so I can definitely recommend.